excellent card here tonight. At bantamweight slightly earlier, Gareth Payne, another Coventry hope. 4 wins out of 5 so far at bantamweight, and a local derby match long awaited in these parts against the Nuneaton fighter Chris Emanuele. We join it at the start.
Well, this should be a rattling good local derby. Gareth Payne in the sky blue trunks from Coventry, and Chris Emanuele, the improving Chris Emanuele from Nuneaton, just 8 miles away. As you can imagine, it stirred up a fair bit of interest locally, this one. Payne beaten just once in 5 fights, and that against British flyweight champion Nicky Booth. Emanuele, who's improving with 3 wins in the last 5. 6-rounder. Emanuele, normally very aggressive, going for it early and catching Payne with some significant shots here. I think he's flustered him a bit early on here, Glenn.
Yep, I think he has. I think there's a decent punch went there in the right hand, I think, and he's looking to try and catch him with the big hooks, Emanuele.
Starting to get greater belief in himself too, Chris Emanuele. He's tightened up his boxing recently. Good ticket seller as well. And at the moment, he's just not letting Payne into the contest.
But Payne needs to get some shots through the middle. That's where Emanuele is a bit open. He stands square on, but he's letting these hooks go.
The little right-hand counter from Payne suddenly turns things around. Emanuele making all the running. Well, expect the unexpected here, I guess.
Well, he was open down the middle, and Payne got the punch in he needed to.
That should lift him. Both of them looking a little open, particularly Payne. But it's Emanuele who's been on the floor. And he walks onto a right hand. Needs to pay a little more heed to defense, possibly. Unlikely to be a shortage of incident, you feel, in this one.
Well, they both want to win here, very much indeed. And Emanuele still looks confident, still pressing forward. Although that shot of Payne should have just reminded him to watch his defense.
Right hand doesn't land, it just hit the glove. The right hand from Emanuele does get through this time. Pity for him, he's been on the floor in this one. Another cracking right hand from Payne. And Emanuele too open to those rights. Needs to be very careful. Listen to the crowd here. Only the first round of this, and a rip-roaring atmosphere.
And now it was Payne who was pouring on the pressure, and now it's he that looks more confident.
Fiery opening round between these 2 local combatants. Well, how do you score a round like that? Emanuele was on the floor, but he had much of the round apart from that.
Well, I'd score that a 10-9 round to Payne. Payne got the knockdown, but it was Emanuele who was doing the better of the work. So I'd make it not a 10-8 round to Payne, but a 10-9 round. Good right hand there, and you just saw the weaknesses in Emanuele's defenses. Just comes forward, and it's just a short one over the top of his jab with his chin in the air, and he goes down.
It's a clever little shot too, and then again trying to get through with the right hand. He landed a few better than that one, actually, but yeah, I'd agree with you. 10-9 Payne, probably, rather than the habitual 10-8 with a knockdown round. Here's the second round. Gareth Payne, the older of the 2 boxing brothers from Coventry, in the sky blue trunks here, the black and white of Chris Emanuele, who's a year younger but has had more fights. And this shows every signs of just being a 6-round tear-up, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Emanuele now has come out to try and land one of his big shots.
An awful lot of local pride at stake here, and it's given this fight a real edge.
Well, Emanuele lets all his shots go pretty much in the hooky motion round the outside.
Oh, great right hand, left himself open, and will Emanuele get up from this one? That's a more serious knockdown. He's struggling to make it. He's at 8 now, he doesn't know where he is. He's counted out, he got up with the count at 10.5, and that's a very prestigious win for Gareth Payne. Emanuele took too many risks and was hit with a cracking right hand, and I really don't think he was comprehending that count.
No, he wasn't. He was just trying to get his head together. He was trying to realise what was going on, but he didn't really know. And you know, he had it. He asked for it really. He was coming in with those wide hooks, leaving a big gap down the middle, and it just took a good shot like that from Gareth Payne to end the job.
There it is again, wide open to it. Much more serious knockdown than the one in the first round. And it's interesting, if we just watch on from this, the count being administered. I think there's a point where he actually believes he's got up, but he hasn't.
Well, he didn't know what was going on.
Now,
I think you're right.
John Coyle spot on, because he'd got to, well, nearly 11 with his count, if you see what I mean. And Gareth Payne, 5 wins and 1 defeat, his record, and he's won a local derby here tonight, much to the delight of his supporters in this biggish crowd in Coventry.
Always means something extra when you do win against one of your local rivals, because he's probably been beating it up in the paper for the last month.
Well, Gareth Payne is certainly a puncher. He's got plenty of ability, natural ability. He's a very good little prospect. And I feel sorry for Chris Emanuele, because he seemed to be coming back. He's got his act together. He's training with Glenn Rhodes. Glenn has probably hadn't got enough time with him. He needs to work on his defence. His head's too stuck up in the air. He's walking in lots of power and strength, but you can't hold your head up in the air like this, because this right hand with a young kid who can bang like that and turn his shoulder over, and you know, he whacks the right hand. The finish punch here was, watch the way he turns his weight over here, right behind, turns a knuckle down. Perfect example of an overhand right, and that was the end of it really. The kid was too badly hurt. You can see it again. Look, that's a classic overhand right.
If he wants it, Barry, what would you do with him if you were the trainer, if you were really hungry to be successful?
Yeah, well, young Emanuele or
no,
Payne.
The winner, Payne.
Well, Payne, I think Payne's got plenty of ability. He knows what he wants. He's got to work towards what he's doing. Just tighten his defence up a little bit when he backs up. Be a little bit tighter and pick his punches a little bit better. But that'll all come with experience. He's only had 6 professional fights. He looks very good. Young Emanuele, I hope he comes back and they can work on his defence. It's
back to the big names in our big fight series this coming week. It's the lightweights and some fantastic names. Benny Leonard, Henry Armstrong, Ike Williams and Roberto Duran among them. Big fights Tuesday at 10 on Sky Sports 3. Saturday Fight Night next week features Michael Aldis against Drew Doherty for the British Super Bantamweight crown. Again, an 8:30 start time, Sky Sports 1 next Saturday night. Looking slightly further into November, Lennox Lewis against David Tua, scheduled for Saturday, November the 11th. A special event on Sky Box Office, and the number for information 08705 800 888. 08705 800 888. And Lennox is taking nothing for granted.
I think he's a big danger, because any time you've got a guy in there which is a known knockout puncher, and he can punch hard with both hands, it's always a dangerous fight. And I realize if I leave myself open and he's able to take advantage of it, I can go. Tua's been around for a while, and he's been working hard, and he's been knocking people out, and is like a hidden secret to a lot of people that haven't really heard of him. But you know, I've been watching, and I'm very prepared for him. I've got an arsenal filled with punches I can throw at any given moment, so he has to watch out more from me. I realize that he's got a great left hook, and he's got power in both hands, and these are the things that I'm going to look out for. And it's just a strategy involved when I go in there. It's just like chess, and that's what I just want to go in there and just prove that I'm the best.
He's pretty cool about it too, isn't he? Lewis, just one of the big names we hope to be seeing in action on Sky Sports and Sky Box Office between now and Christmas.
I thought you all might begin your tour here.
Huge right hand! Lewis wins again!
Just a class above the opposition.
Tremendous Oh, crunching right hand. What a terrific fighter. Good left hook from Neary. Look at this, it's ferocious action. These are big shots. Listen to the crowd here. It's really high intensity stuff, this. This just might be something very special.
And before we close tonight, something definitely very special, a wonderful occasion for all boxing fans. The venue, the Westin Bonaventure Hotel in downtown Los Angeles, and a lineup of boxing's biggest names. The Fighter of the Year award went to Sugar Shane Mosley for the second time in 3 years. And then to the induction procedure. Top trainer-manager Emanuele Stewart first into the Hall of Fame. The great Wilfredo Gomez was the first fighter to be welcomed this year, closely followed by the brilliant Ken Buchanan, Scotland's lightweight legend, with his father acting as chief second. Perhaps they were both a little taken aback by being the centre of attention. Following him, one of Ireland's most successful ever sportsmen, and this was one occasion that Mr. McGuigan just had to share with Mrs. McGuigan. After all, she was with him right from the start.
Down the mountainside, the summer's gone, and all the flowers are dying.
They got the entrance music right. Years on from their peak in the ring, a night for old friendships to be rekindled. The crowd marvelled again at the sensational skills of Ken Buchanan in his prime, and then Buchanan had the chance to feel like a winner all over again.
Well, Dad, I think it's only right that I should dedicate this honour to my mum, Cathy.
Surely a timely moment to remind the whole world just how brilliant he had been. In his boxing career, Barry followed Buchanan as a big name, and so it was at the ceremony too.
Thank each and every one of you for coming out, and have a great remainder of the evening. We'll be all here ready to sign autographs and whatever. Thanks for making me a small part of it.
They were a long way from home, but for Barry and Buchanan, hero worship on a night when they must have felt like champions all over again. Well, Barry, heartfelt congratulations from the whole team for an achievement which, in its way, is probably a parallel to being a world champion. Does it give you the same sort of satisfaction to be among those names?
Well, to be among names like Carmen Basilio, Aaron Pryor, great fighters like Ruben Olivares, Danny Little Red Lopez. I mean, these were all my heroes. I grew up with these guys.
Did you try to make a match with any of them?
I didn't know. They were much too dangerous for me in my dotage. But it was great. It was a terrific night, and it was just so wonderful to be part of it all, and to be in the Hall of Fame is something special.
It's only appropriate to point out that it is a sport that gets good publicity and bad publicity, but you always make great play of your pride in being involved in it.
Yeah, I mean,
was that underlined on that occasion?
Absolutely. I mean, the point is, we are the greatest one-on-one sport, the purest one-on-one sport that there is. It's filled with gentlemen who are terrific athletes and great people, and there's lots of negativity about the sport, and the sensational press like to jump on that. But what the sport does for kids and you know, for the people in general, is wonderful. It's a great sport, and I love to be a part of it, and I'm delighted that it's given me the opportunity I've had to make some money and a bit of fame for myself, which is great.
Another great achievement. Well done indeed.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks for being with us, Barry. Hope you've enjoyed it too with us here in Coventry. Win or lose, the local boys can say at least they've filled the arena and they gave us a night to remember. From us both, bye-bye.
good battle. It's over and Everett's got it.